Welcome to episode 6. There is always work to be accomplished before the real work can begin. This foundation is covered with an R13 fiberglass with a spun fabric protective coat that I want to remove. One reason is that I do not like fiberglass insulation just sitting on the floor. It has a tendency to soak up moisture. I'm going to remove and repurpose this insulation and use it at another time. It's attached with a power-actuated nail and plastic washer. Sometimes hammering it back and forth will loosen the nail. Sometimes trying to grab a hold of it with a pair of pliers or vice grips. Sometimes you just have to get out a chisel and a hammer and cut the washer off so that it will release the fabric. Remove all the top spun fabric and set it aside. Pull down and roll up all of the insulation. Set it aside to be repurposed at a future date. Back in the day when I was working foundations, we had to clean up the foundations and get them nice and flat. But these foundation guys left me with all these form tie nubs. There are two ways to remove them. Use a large framing hammer to beat the concrete off, and then beat the tie back and forth until the metal breaks. Or use a mason's chisel to chisel off the concrete nub. Then use a pipe to bend the tie back and forth until the tie breaks off. If the insulator sprayed foam in the rim of the house, the overspray needs to be cut off from the bottom of the joists to allow for proper framing. Next, clean up the debris. I'm using a vacuum here to make sure that I have a somewhat clean surface. I'm using this big stretch caulking to seal between the wall and the floor. This is for two purposes. One, to slow down ground moisture from coming up between the floor and the wall, and two, to act as a barrier if the house has radon gas. Lay down a healthy bead in the corner. Use your finger to squish the caulking into the corner. Keep it as smooth and clean as possible. Well, that's it for today's video. Come back for episode 7, where we will be going over finding plumb, layout, and start framing. Be sure to hammer that subscribe button, strike that bell, so you can follow along as I finish my basement. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.